Okay.
Yeah.
Can we go as otherwise it will be just one way.
Yeah. Okay. So now I'm open to questions. Anybody want to ask about what I've just presented?
Yeah, probably can we just stop? Do you have anything more to present, Aloysius?
No, that's all.
Probably just stop the screen so we can see people talking. All right. Okay, there is Rajan said there will never be equality here. We need to understand that. We need to understand that we have to accept the fact. There is no equality in Malaysia. To a certain extent, yes, that's very true. We just need to build ourselves stronger. So that is basically a normal reaction. So when you are like, I got a Chinese friend. I've never really been in contact with the Chinese when I was small until I worked. When I was about 25 years old. When I was in primary school, I had some Indian friends. We used to fight in the school bus. You got to bully me, but that was during my standard 4. I mean, standard 6. That's basically kids.
Were you bullied?
No, it's basically just a stupid fight. Kids, in the school bus. Probably say something nasty. So nothing bully like just kid. I just happened to, when I really understand what Chinese is, when I start working in a bank, and of course there is one the Chinese probably not so rich. So he told me, as being a Chinese, they really have to work hard in that sense, because they don't really have a government to fall back onto, and so yeah, and so Malaysia, normally the Malay, they have the government to back them up. Probably the Chinese, their DNA, they really work hard. So normally the Indians are left behind because of. So that's why they have all sort of problem, and they're from I've watched this YouTube on Reach, about Indian minority. They have all sort of problem when they were in the estates, quite okay in the sense that they are provided with the housing and stuff like that. But when become, with the media bombardment, people, those days are basically the Malay, Chinese, all are basically poor. Not that much difference. But when we are, so we tend to help each other. But as we become wealthier, so there is this problem. And there is conflict here and there. Still on slide, Aloysius, probably you can stop sharing. Yeah, thank you. Okay, probably Arun just he put more curry in that sense, so he put a little bit of political play in that context, but never mind, because the one that Aloysius trying to put in is more like the root cause. The motivation is basically people become more materialistic, become more individualistic, becomes and stuff like that. It's basically the root cause of everything. Of course, the curry also very important. Yes, Eddy, you say something to that.
Well, I think one of the root, as an educator, I want to quote something first by Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln say, the philosophy of the schoolroom in one generation will be the philosophy of government in the next. So I think one of the key problems, personally, I would say the major problems that we are facing today is a result of our education. We politicize our educations. And because of that, we don't teach our students how to think. We just make them how to memorize facts. And the facts that we give them may not be even accurate. So towards the end, what is happening right now is that we do have a situation where we have a lot of, I will call it handicap. I won't say handicap, I don't know how to use it. We have a group of citizens who are driven by emotions and couldn't think and analyze, like just how Aloysius talking about analysis and analysis and analyze and analyzing any facts or any situation that is presented to them. You say, Aloysius was saying that, okay, something presents to me, I pause and I think and then I analyze. But the problem is that our education system do not equip the students to do that. And this has gone on, Abraham Lincoln say one generation. It has gone on since 1970s. Okay.
Yeah, I totally agree with Eddy. For you to change society, it must start from education, from the family and go on. I mean, but you also open another can of worms, you know. Education is also
well, but it's all about crisis. This is one of the major crises that we're facing.
True. If you want to have a paradigm shift, you need to change on education. So my wife happened to be.
We have to start from there. No matter how much relationship you want to build.
True. Yeah, that is also very, 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 very crucial in that sense. So that's another deep subject. So you open
Eddy,
to me.
Maybe the word you were looking for is dysfunctional.
Yes, thank you. Yes, we do have a group of dysfunctional, in a sense, a dysfunctional government and a dysfunctional people who cannot. It would take a long time, another 2 or 3 generations to.
True. I cannot agree more. I mean, you have to have set that thing straight. How about you, Arun? I know that is. I agree to that, but it's just that it's okay. that is also true to a certain extent. So what happened then? So do you have anything to say what has been said by Aloysius on that thing?
Yes, I think I could not agree more with the gentleman earlier that it all starts from the school. But the problem here, see, the education system in Malaysia has become a tool has become a political tool. So this again, I mean, we cannot discuss this without going back to 1970s. It's all started there. See where so much of emphasis not in making Malaysia for all, Malaysia for Malaysian, but it is so much emphasis in trying to zoom into race and religion. So that brought us the education system we are today. And I could not agree that that type. I mean, students from that era is what later became the leaders that we are. And then I cannot say we cannot separate the people and the politicians. I must say, if we think the politicians are rotten, and so as the people, because they're both. See, the politician wouldn't be there if it was not chosen by the people. So it is. There's a beautiful saying by a philosopher from India. He said, "Bad people choose bad leaders."
Exactly.
If you're choosing a leader that take bribes, and he would have got chosen because he actually bribed the voters, like what's happening right now. Okay?
True.
It takes two to tango. So the people cannot say, "Oh, we all saint and the politicians are bad." No. The politicians are the reflection of the constituency, 222 constituencies. It's that simple. So and then when the education system become a tool for the politicians, and that's what it is now. And look at the sejarah. Okay, there is a systematic movement within the education system at all, trying to erase identity of all the other races, including Sabah, Sarawak. In this discussion, we must make sure the interests of Sabahans and Sarawakian been spoken. So our sejarah is not a reflection of all races. It is in fact, it is a reflection of single race and single religion. I mean, by reflecting other races and other other races. I'm not too interested in putting religious education in the school system, right? So the other races, it's important because right now this generation think, hey, you know what, we built this country and you just came here to squat. That is wrong. Who actually gave that narrative? It is our education system. Who actually built the policies? It is the people that we chose to be to lead the government. So it is so intertwined. All these things intertwined. Where would we start? Like what Mr. Aloysius put it forward. It is very very ideal. It's nice, beautiful, beautiful garden with flowers and water body and all the stuff. But that is not the reality. The reality right now, it is the survival of the fittest. Look at how is our government functioning. We don't even trust the government that have made the right decision in handling the pandemic. And the extension of PKP. We all have a doubt whether it is because of the pandemic or because of other extra reason, right? So this is what, and people now here, and people are caught between. Of course, it is their own doing, but again, survival of fittest. I want to just take care of my community, my people, my faith, my thing. So it all become my thing. Where would be the Malaysia? The Malaysia, the beautiful Malaysia always stays in a talk like this. You say beautiful Malaysia, beautiful. Which part of Malaysia that the beautiful Malaysia it was 50 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago? Where is the beautiful Malaysia right now?
All right, thanks, Arun. On that note, basically, I also forgot what you're saying just now. I mean, basically, no, that's also true. I mean, I couldn't agree more. I mean, to change everything is, of course, the key in everything is basically education, how you want to change your mindset. And basically also true, the leaders are reflections of the people. For you to change the people, you need to change education. Of course,
that is
chicken and egg kind of thing.
Shahrul, that is exactly what Aloysius was talking about. Values. It's not necessarily has to come from our religion or background and everything, because religions, faith, and all those things, it's personal. But when from young in the school, if we know how to teach values, we teach values, basic human values, decency, help, being fair, having justice, and things like that, then the students, it wouldn't help all students, but at least you can help 60-70% of students who have that kind of value and grow up. But even that also we don't have. That's a whole problem.
No, that is very true. In the sense that when I don't know, but something I admit, even from my own kind. I mean, my wife also teaching. That is very true. My wife actually teaching thinking in schools and how we're supposed to have critical thinking and whatnot. Especially the Islam has been very dogmatic in certain sense. Because to me, Islam is supposed to be very a religion that you ask you to think over and over again. I mean, if you have that faith, the name, but you don't have the values and the actions, to me, it's amount to nothing. It's, in fact, it can be, I can quote so many words that you have to be just and stuff like that, but it's really the opposite what happened on the ground. So, but again, how you want to fix that? So, Willie, you want to add anything to that?
Okay, so I think the conversation has gone in quite a number of different directions. So let me see if I can try and marry the things together, and also bring my kind of perspective to it. Part of the we've heard like politics, basically, politicians separating people's values are shifting, and etc. One of the things I feel that we can start to understand as individuals, like if you remove race, religion, and all those kind of things, if you don't label people, right, and you see other people as generally your own people, many of these things may not happen as much. So when we say like humanity, for example, is a very broad term that encompasses people. But if you see how people have changed and grown and progress has been made, it's usually when your circle of who you define as your people expands. So it's like, if you like how we usually say, think of yourself as a Malaysian, not as a Chinese or an Indian or a Malay, then we can live more harmoniously. Politicians need to emulate that. We need to pick people who mirror us in that way. Education needs to reflect that. I love the concept of vision schools. Like last time, even if you wanted to maintain your own identity and individuality, your own syllabus or whatever, have a compound which all the students share, so that they run into each other during sports events and all those kind of stuff. So these are all things about expanding who you understand to be the people that you want to protect, you want to help, you want to benefit, right? So usually the automatic one you get is family, right? And then you have friends, and then after that most people stop at race, or something along those lines, and that's very unfortunate. So if more people can understand that this circle is actually wider, if you work and think in terms of other people, if you spread your trust to more people, and they will reciprocate, right? And then this is essentially how you can actually improve, whether it's nation, whether it's the world, or whatever it is. This is generally how people can actually learn to share resources, look to benefit each other with the activities that we do, and not just limit it to certain perspective. So you don't other people. There's this. The word other is usually a noun, but it can be a verb. Like what we're doing or what we are seeing, we're talking about is the action of othering other people. You're essentially labeling other people as them, right? And then us is something. It's your family or your friends or your race or whatever it is. So if you do less of that, I think many of the things, because I don't think generally people go around hating family, like you there will be people that you love, there will be people in your circle, right? But if you would just open up a little bit, I think that's
thanks Willie. I get that. I always put forward, the best thing that you can education is one thing. I don't really go to school and learn. So one thing that good is you put people together. If you have like Willie, Eddy and Arun in one school, you learn to appreciate each other. You grow in the same school. Probably it's some also people argue the syllabus that you teach the children, so you put them together. The Indian school, Chinese school. And to me, I'm at 25, only then I really talk and mix with Chinese in the bank. Before that, I don't. I'm not used to that, no. Except for in the primary school, where I came from. Hutan Lintang is quite in India. Is quite a lot there, so I had that experience with them. But you're still very young then. No? But to me, if the school system that we can put in one school, where people can mix together, and after that you go to all your religious or not school, I think should be okay in that sense. The book syllabus is one thing. The more important thing is that we make each other. I see what you bring to school, you play together. That is really, we have to start from small. If you sudah balik keluar university, you go to work, you marry, basically you will click with your own kind. That's why it's polarized us to a lot of degree. Yes, probably we go back to Aloysius. He has been quiet.
I like what Arun say, that I'm trying to build this garden. See, talking about the negatives will make us feel even more down. So what I feel that what the Pakatan harapan, the word harapan, it was just a slogan. But if we don't have hope within ourselves to do what we can with what we have, where we are now, where are we going? Because I see this very clear approach to current situation. We can talk about fighting for rights while ignoring our responsibilities, because I cannot change a lot of things that's happening because I didn't create them. I was not part of it. I don't have the power. Okay. But I can create the future. Maybe as a humanist, I'll be better lah. Because what Willie shared made a lot of sense lah. Because at the end of the day, we make choices. I can choose to work with the people I love, and then look for others who also share this kind of thing. They're wanting to take the country forward with love. Or I can just keep on hitting about what's wrong in the country. But for me, that's wasted energy. I'd rather focus on what we can do, because like I said, I'm just one individual. But even as a one individual, my philosophy is I do what I can with what I have, where I am now. The rest, I leave it to the universe. Otherwise, what are we going to look forward to? And I believe that this Malaysia Baru that I'm talking about will bring together people who want to look about what we can do, instead of spending our energy of telling all the things that is wrong in the country. I raise my case.
Thank you, Aloysius. I think that also ring bells is what Arun is doing right now. I think everyone is doing in their own capacity. Like you mentioned, Arun got the kita bantu kita is basically, each one of us play our own part to the best of ability to make this world a better place, like what I'm doing now. Of course, every day it has to translate into action, whatever that you can do. You start gathering people, like I also agree with Aloysius. You can put the blame on others. You can see what you have done wrong. So sometimes for you to change, you also need to reflect on yourself. What can I do to make things better, rather than you channel that energy. You try to change what you can to the best of my ability. Yes, Arun, you want to add to that?
Yeah, I totally concur with them. Okay, so whatever we do today, whatever we imprint today will affect tomorrow. That is totally understandable. But it's for us to do whatever today, we must understand where we came from, so that we will not repeat what went wrong previously to jeopardize the future of our next generation. At this time, okay, the biggest problem that we have, all the level-minded people, good people are staying silent. I think I concur with Albert Einstein saying that the world is a dangerous place, not because of the evil people, but because of the good people stay silent. So
Amen.
I think people like Aloysius and a lot of the activists and NGOs and the normal people must think beyond and envision the Malaysia that they like to give it to their kids. And the problem is what they all individually envision is very different. And especially, I'll tell you today, and this one probably Mr. Our friend Charles can even echo that. That is actually not the case with a lot of the among the Malay community. They like to see a robust Islamic country and things like that. So we really have the vision problem. And I think the more progressive-minded Malays, the progressive-minded Indian, and the progressive-minded Sabahan and Sarawakian, all of us must come forward and do our part. Okay, without that we can't do nothing. When Zakir Naik comes up and trying to insinuate religion and saying it's okay for the Muslims to choose a rotten, a corrupted Malay leaders opposed to a good non-Muslim leader. Okay, that kind of rhetoric we all have to fight. And I think that responsibility lies with the rational minds, the progressive minds. My question is, where is all of those people? Where are those? I'm sure there's the thousands of people like Sharul. Where are they? Where are they? I really want to work. I will be their slave. Really, I'm telling you today. I mean, at any given time, if Sharul asks me to do anything, I will do, because he is the hope of Malaysia. The new Malaysia that Aloysius is envisioning can only be headed by people like Sharul and a lot of people like my friend Sam Saad, and even to the certain extent, people like Siti Kasim and all those people that see a different Malaysia. Whether going to happen or not doesn't matter. The progressive mind, rational folks in this country must rise. It's not the orang kebanyakan alone, but because kebanyakan the B40s and M40s, they are pretty much stuck in a vicious cycle. So, but there are a lot of progressive people. Where are all those retirees from 70s and 60s and the golden eras? What are they doing? Where is all this? All the judges and magistrates and lawyers and all those people that have came out? So it is sometimes frustrating. They're watching Malaysia falling apart before them. That is not right.
Thanks, Arun. I couldn't agree more than that. I don't know that Einstein said that. No, sorry.
Boon, Arun is basically asking you to enter politics soon. You know.
No. It's a bit too much.
Oh, you definitely get a vote from me.
Yeah, I'll be your campaign manager, Baba.
Aloysius can be your manager. Yeah.
Okay. I'll be your slave, service slave.
No, Arun. Okay. I have. Sorry. Yeah.
It was Edmund Burke. Edmund Burke said, "For evil to succeed, it is enough. The good do nothing."